new month to you. I can't wait. I'm excited. I don't know why, but I just feel like it's an exciting thing to see another new month. I mean, it's always a gift being alive, right? Count your many blessings, name them one by one. Don't be ungrateful. I know it gets really tough sometimes, but hey, there is a reason why you're still here. Say that to yourself. There is a reason why I am still here. And I'm going to do what I can when I can with what I have. All right. So let's see now. Let's see what's in the news. So we begin with the latest one, and that's the police retreat, the police conference and retreat that's organized and it's been hosted in Owerri, Imo State capital. And the idea of the retreat is, preparing senior police officers for a better outcome of the 2023 elections. So President Muhammadu Buhari was at the opening ceremony of the conference and retreat, and he spoke extensively. I'll be, bringing you excerpts of, that outing there in Owerri. Yes, I also have the governor Opuzodimma of Imo speak, the IGP, Usman Baba. That's Inspector General of Police, in case you don't know what IGP is. The Inspector General of Police also spoke at the event. Of course, we need to brace up. 2023. Are you counting down at all? Are you with me on the countdown thing? Because I do that like every single day. Let's see. How many more days do we have to the elections? Remember the date for the elections. The presidential elections is February 25, 2023. So today we have about 116 days more to go. 116 days. How many hours? Just a few more hours. And of course, it's counting down. So seconds keep ticking. Tick, tock, tick, tock, tick. So yes, all hands are on deck to ensure that we have a free, fair, credible, very transparent elections come 2023. So here is what has happened so far at that outing. We'll begin with, of course, the voice of the president. Meanwhile, the president is scheduled to leave for the UK for about 2 weeks on a medical trip for medical checkup and routine check, yes, just to make sure that he's fine and good and safe. So here we go, the voice of the president at the opening. He was the special guest of honor at the event, by the way. So his was his opening speech and remarkable strides that he's made so far since becoming president.
General elections. It also provides a unique opportunity to brainstorm on pathways to guaranteeing a stable internal security space in the countdown to the electoral transition exercise. In my address at the 72nd session of the United Nations General Assembly on the 19th September 2017, I made it very clear that our faith in democracy remains firm and unshaken. In reinforcing my unwavering commitment to democratic values and strong democratic institutions to govern the process, during my farewell speech at the 77th session of the United Nations General Assembly on the 21st of September 2022, I noticed that we have invested heavily in strengthening our framework for free and fair election, and hence I reaffirm on the global stage that as president, I have set the goal that one of the enduring legacies I would like to leave is to entrench a process of free, fair, transparent, and credible election through which Nigerians elect leaders of their choice.
Awesome. That's the president there, President Muhammadu Buhari, speaking at the police conference and retreat hosted in Owerri, the Imo State capital. And of course, you heard the target or the idea is to strengthen our framework to ensure free, fair, credible, transparent elections where Nigerians can, vote in who they so please. Of course, the Inspector General of Police was at the event. Well, who else would be there? This is for senior police officers. So naturally, he was there. This is what he had to say.
France of the police and other security agencies in the state for the next 3 days
We also help to restore the much-needed confidence in our people and help fortify our sense of security and safety. I hope you will all find the time to move around and interact with our people and take advantage of your visit in my determination to leave a legacy of a safe, peaceful, and prosperous Imo State. Going forward, this conference is crucial since it is aimed at evolving strategies towards discharging the duties of the police ahead of the general elections scheduled for 2023. It is therefore gratifying to note that history will remember that it was in the beautiful city of Owerri during my tenure as the governor of Imo State.
Pardon, just to clarify, that's the governor of Imo State there speaking, Opuzodima. Just to clarify, the voice of the Inspector General of Police will be, coming up after this.
That the police met and planned how to give Nigeria one of the most peaceful elections in its history.
To the nation. The importance of this gathering to the nation lies in the fact that the outcome will be critical to peace and security of our democratic process. This is the extent that we will engage in a detailed evaluation of all issues relating to the security dynamics of the 2023 general elections. The importance of this agenda underscores our choice of the theme of the conference, which is the imperative of Nigeria Police Strategic Plan for Peaceful Elections. In this regard, Your Excellency, during the conference and the retreat, we shall critically and professionally review the pattern and trends of crimes and undertake a detailed security risk assessment with a view to identifying specific trends that could threaten the security and peaceful conduct of the 2023 general elections.
And now everything is, being put together to ensure that this election, we are assured that our votes will count. So you don't have any reason whatsoever to not cast your vote and say it doesn't really matter. See the investment that has been made, right? People are coming together. We're having workshops, we're having retreats for senior personnel, for the army. What was it the other day? We had that for was it the army? Yes, thereabouts, just to ensure that we have it really credible come 2023. Speaking of which, remember, we're doing countdown here on the show. That's on Super Citizen at sunset. We'll have 116 more days to go, about 15 hours and 44 minutes thereabouts. Yes, to the elections, the presidential elections, presidential and National Assembly elections, which will hold on the 25th of February, 2023. And now to other stories. Yes, it was just very important to clarify very, clearly, because if you looked at, a lot of dailies today, the update came a little early. Everyone just started breaking the story how that the president had left for UK, for London, for his medical checkup. Well, at the time the story was making the round, he hadn't left yet. He was still in Imo State giving his opening speech. Yes, at the ceremony of the conference, the one I just played you, sound bites from, excerpts from. So no, But yes, he is scheduled to leave Nigeria for the UK later. Maybe he has gone already. If he has, maybe it would have been in the last couple of minutes. So yes, that story has been on for like a few hours. We're like, hey, President has left the country. President has left the country. Meanwhile, he was still around, though. He was still around. People should be calming down small, all right? Anyway. So after he presided over an emergency meeting with security chiefs at the State House in Abuja, that was when the story broke. But there was one more thing he had to do in town before traveling, and that was to go, be there as special guest of honor at the opening ceremony of the police retreats happening in Owerri, Imo State. Well, it was the president's special advisor on media and publicity, Femi Adesina, that tweeted that the president would leave Abuja today. But he did not capture that. The president would have to make a stop, Owerri first before proceeding. So from what he tweeted, it's expected that the president will be back in the country the second week of November. Remember, the president just came back from Seoul? Yeah, on that bio summit. Yeah, yes. He just came back very recently, still fresh. I think it's been up to a week since he came back. But he has to go to UK. He has to go to London for his medical checkup. So yes, that's about that. About that. No, you know. Alrighty, more stories coming up now. I'm sure you've heard, or you may be hearing about the what's it called now? Protests going on in Lagos State. Commercial drivers have decided to go on a strike. They said they're not in. So under the aegis of Joint Drivers Welfare Association of Nigeria, they said they will commence their 7-day strike today, or they have already. They said they are unable to reach an agreement with the state government on this whole payment thingy. They are just on. It's choking. It's choking. So they released a statement. This is what the statement says. As commercial drivers in Lagos State under the aegis of JD1, we are left with no choice than to embark on 7 days of protest and boycott of services over multiple and excessive extortions by management of parks and garages in the state. We have notified members of the public and the state government, that is Lagos State government, over multiple and excessive extortions by motor parks and garages management. The cost of transportation affects the cost of goods and services, and consequently, the cost of living, which has spiraled astronomically in Lagos as a result of the effect of motor parks' excessive and illegal ticketing and tolling at almost every bus stop. So they're saying no to charging drivers 3 passengers money. So what they pay is an equivalent of about 3 passengers money after they load in parks or in garages. And so they're saying that they're kicking against paying motor park thugs at every bus stop. And then there's a lot of harassment going on with law enforcement agencies and intimidations with guns, cutlasses, machetes, broken bottles, task forces. It's just been overwhelming. So they're saying they're doing that protest. No more work. Today, if you saw the pictures from Lagos State, if you're listening to me from Lagos, because you can listen to us from anywhere in the world, you just have to just log into Citizen FM, Citizen FM Abuja, citizenfm.ng, pardon me, yes, citizenfm.ng. So that's a story about what's happening there now. So let's peep into, international scene. So you remember that time that there was a travel advisory, nations told their citizens not to travel to Nigeria, security issues. Well, the federal government has responded again, because I remember the president, releasing a statement that period. He said it was not necessary. The federal government is insisting again that, you see that move, it was just very unnecessary. Today, Monday, the federal government said that the security situation on ground is not that dire, that is not that bad, it's not that horrible, that people would need to start taking, travel advisories. It's not enough to warrant the travel advisories that was issued by the US and UK governments and other foreign missions. Remember, it was not just UK and US that gave that advisory. Yes, other nations, followed suit, where they want their citizens to avoid traveling to Nigeria, particularly Abuja. What's that year? Right? Anyway, so the National Security Advisor was a person who spoke. That's Major General Babagana Monguno, who stated this while he was briefing State House correspondents at the end of the emergency security meeting that was summoned by the president. Do you remember the one that President rounded off from and went to Imo? Yes, that one. Yes, that's the security meeting where General Babagana Monguno, addressed newsmen, and he said it was not necessary at all. He said Nigerians are not in danger. Okay, Nigerians are not in danger. We should calm down. Everything is fine. Have you seen the security forces everywhere, scattered everywhere in Abuja at the moment? Just move from one point to another. You see people wearing uniforms and ensuring that there's sanity in the land. Speaking of travel advisories, you may not know, so let me just tell you. So the Nigerian government has issued a warning. They're cautioning Nigerians to please not travel to Uganda. If you've been following us here on Citizen or Super Citizen at Sunset News Roundup, particularly, I think it was last week, sometime during the course of last week. On Thursday, 28, that would have been Friday or so. Anyway, so we heard the Ugandan Minister of Health talk about the situation in Uganda as it concerns, Ebola. And how that they had to build new centers across the state to accommodate more people because they're having more confirmed cases of Ebola, and how that the Kampala region was in danger, huge danger. Well, the Nigeria Center for Disease Control today cautioned Nigerians and other residents against embarking on non-essential travel to Uganda for now. Do not travel if you don't have to travel to Uganda. The NCDC Director General, Dr. Ifedayo Adetifa, yes, said it was necessary to give this caution because of what is going on in Uganda at the moment. He said that the warning is to enable public health authorities to determine how Ebola outbreak will be contained. We cannot have a situation of Ebola in Nigeria at this time. No, we cannot afford it. Anyway, let's go back. Let's go back and hear what the Minister of Health, Uganda, had to say during the period. Her name is Ruth Jane Aseng. I remember she told AFP that there had been about 14 confirmed cases in the Kampala area. And 9 other people had contacted the virus of a fatality from Kasanda, one of the 2 central districts at the heart of the outbreak. Here we go.
The situation in the other ETU is that it is full to capacity, majorly with cases coming in from Kasanda. So we had to evacuate the mental health unit to accommodate some of the patients. But on Monday, once this space is created, then some of the patients can be shifted here.
It's been a very, very tough one for residents and people of Uganda, the Ebola outbreak. So here was what they had to say during, about the launch when it did.
The one that the minister has just opened will have about a capacity of holding 60 Ebola patients. And also in Kampala, we are setting up one at the Morago National Referral Hospital in the praying ground. We also have an Ebola isolation unit in Entebbe.
So far, the death toll stands at 44, according to the World Health Organization.
You heard that? About 44 people dead so far. That's why it was very important for NCDC, that's the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, to issue that travel warning. Do not travel to Uganda if you do not have to travel. Non-essential trips, please. Hold on it for this period. It's just very important. And the thing is, you're not just putting yourself at risk, okay? If you ignore these warnings and travel anyway, you're not just putting yourself at risk, you're also putting every other person who gets in contact with you at risk. Family, friends, loved ones. You don't know. No, please, let's not even think about it. Child, don't travel. Don't do it. Do not do it. Abort mission. Abort. It is Citizen FM 93.7, 4:26 p.m. Let's see 1 or 2 more stories and then we call it a wrap today on News Roundup. Do not forget, top or bottom of the hour, 4:30, we'll be doing quizzers today. Hey, do you remember what I said earlier? I said from tomorrow, we'll be doing Super Citizen at sunset from 5 p.m. until 7 p.m. Yes, from tomorrow, we'll be having Manny doing Politics Now between 3:30 p.m. and 5 p.m. Right, and that's about it. Well, maybe not. So just one more story, so we'll call it a wrap officially. So Mieti Allah is in the news again. Yes, they are a social-cultural group, Mieti Allah Katolhori Fulani Association. That's the full name, but they're popularly known as Mieti Allah. So today, they've called for the establishment of a Federal Ministry of Nomadic Affairs. Yes. You got that right. It's that they're calling for a Federal Ministry of Nomadic Affairs. And now this ministry is supposed to have a mandate to broaden educational opportunities and to address pastoral or pastoralist challenges. Yes. So they stated this in a communique that was issued today and was jointly signed by the National President, Abdullahi Bodejo, and its National Secretary, Mr. Saleh Al-Hassan. Yeah, that was at the end of the expanded National Executive Council meeting with state chairman of the association that was held in Abuja earlier today. And they're also demanding the immediate resignation and gazetting and development of all the 415 grazing reserves across the country. So in case you hear anything about the Federal Ministry of Nomadic Affairs, know where it's coming from. It's the social-cultural group, Mieti Allah, that are calling for a new ministry altogether, especially in a time where we are talking about, cutting cost, some ministries and agencies, merging and all of that. So some ministries merging at least, and all of those moves. Remember the Orosanye report on cutting cost of governance in Nigeria? Now we're having a new call altogether to set up a different ministry entirely Okay, let's see how that goes. Fingers crossed. Citizen FM 93.7, 4:29 p.m. So we have to go now. Yes, that's call it a wrap on News Roundup. And then when we come back, which will be in what? In but just a few minutes, we'll be doing African, pardon me. I just saw something about Africa, so I just went Africa. No, we'll not be doing African vibes. We'll be doing quizzers. Here is Jonathan Butler with Africa. Since I already mentioned Africa, let's play something from Africa or off Africa.
Africa.